Oh, guys, breaking news, but not breaking news because if you do follow me on YouTube, you would have seen this coming miles ago. You should have been expecting this like weeks ago. So there's not so much breaking news, but it's still cool to talk about. So Ludia just posted on their Twitter next week's featured dinos. No surprises here except for a few, I guess. There are some little surprises here. Like for example, I didn't expect they're gonna throw out the legendary on Monday and unique on Tuesday, but it makes sense, which I'll explain in a second. So let's go over next week's featured creatures and which ones you should dart for, and some reason behind them, I guess. So this schedule, wow, this is a schedule. So on Monday we got the legendary, which is Paramoloch. On Tuesday we got the unique, which is Tormach. Wednesday, common, Apatosaur plus Stegosaurus. Thursday to Friday is the rares, Charlie Delta, Dracorex, and epic is Blue Sinoceratops and Brachiosaurus, which is Saturday to Sunday. So it goes from December the 24th to the 30th. And someone on Discord, I can't remember who, sorry, can't credit you, said this actually makes sense because Monday is Christmas Eve, and then Tuesday is the day of Christmas, the 25th. So Christmas Eve giving us the legendary, and then on Christmas Day we get the unique Tormach. So that makes sense, and I would subscribe to that theory. So yeah, it makes total sense. And I mean, I guess for Monday and Tuesday there aren't really much else to dart. Although, just looking back, and I know I already complained, it's not too much of a complaint because, it's still a free legendary and unique. I'd still take it. But, guys, it could have been better. It could have been better. Paramoloch, Tormach, not the greatest dinos in the game. So, although Tormach will be interesting to see how they rework it, because I'd be surprised if there's no rework with Tormach, because due to the moveset it has, it's the only, I'm pretty sure it's the only dino that has both slowing impact and Superiority Strike on it. So if they change Superiority Strike to 50%, then slowing impact is still 50% as well, and also slowing impact does change its cooldown down to 2 turns, so Superiority Strike, it still does cleanse bleed, but slowing impact just doesn't. And like Superiority Strike basically does what slowing impact does, except for the impact damage. So I'm really not sure about what they're gonna do with it. Tormach has counter anyways, so no clue. Maybe they might change slowing impact into another impact move. It'd be nice if it has, if they gave it just stunning impact or greater stunning impact. Now I guess, wait, does it already have greater stunning impact? No, actually greater stunning rampage, right? It's one of those. I can't remember, but you know what? I'll check real fast. Tormach. Even if it has Greater Stunning Rampage, it's still not great. I think it had Rampage and Run and Greater Stunning Impact. Okay, here's Tormach. Well, you can't really see my computer screen, but yeah, Greater Stunning Impact. Oh wait, it has Impact and Run. Oh well, this thing is really, it's a really sad dino. But nothing we could do about it, unfortunately, so oh well. But yeah, Tormach, not the greatest unique. Hopefully they do rework it a bit in the next patch, so our DNA gets into good use, I guess. It does do well against Indoraptor, actually, surprisingly. That is actually a matchup it does do decent on. It could, slow, then stun, then impact and run. Doesn't kill Indo 100% of the time. In fact, no dino kills Indo 100% of the time. But it has an okayish chance. I mean, it's not a horrible unique by any means. If you don't have any other, better dinos, you could still run it. Paramoloch, same thing with Paramoloch. Not a great dino, but if you don't have anything other better, then, you can still run it. Okay, let's talk about the dinos that we should choose to go for. Or some suggestions, I guess. You don't really have to follow this at all. So Wednesday we got Apatosaurus and Stegosaurus, 24 attempts. It's only one day, so that might be a bit of a trouble for some of us. Especially, if we're going to visit family on Christmas and, we're staying over. and it's a bit of a hassle to get around if you're at someone else's house or a bunch of other people, guests, are coming to your house. So it's going to be a bit difficult to get the all 24 attempts on Apatow and Stegosaurus, also especially if you're living in Vancouver and it's going to be raining the whole day, probably. But if you do have the chance, I would prioritize Stegosaurus over Apatosaurus, and Stegosaurus do only spawn in parks now, and that's a bit difficult to get, as opposed to Apatosaurus, which still spawns globally, although daytime, but at least they're not in parks. Park spawns, we know the problem with park spawns. So, moving on to Thursday and Friday. So that's 2 days for 3 rares. 18 attempts total. I think the priority here is Dracorex, because Dracorex makes one of the strongest dinos in the game, Utarex, and although Utarex could be nerfed, I'm leaning towards the camp of it will be nerfed, but they're probably not going to do the distracting rampage thing, so it won't be as bad. But who knows? At least right now, and we still got... We're in December. When was 1.5? Was it in November? Actually, no. We might be nearing in an update. We might have an update mid-January, actually, I think. So, who knows? But Dracorex, it's still a good DNA to have. At least it's a hybrid material. The other two aren't. But Charlie and Delta, I would say, are both really good Raptors. I would prioritize Delta over Charlie if you really want to go for the Raptor. And obviously, if you haven't unlocked any of them yet, just go for the attempts necessary to unlock them all first, at least. Because, you want them in your collection, I guess, if you do, unless you don't. Like me, I don't. Some dinos I just don't care for in my collection. But Delta is a really good dino, 131 speed. That's just under Velociraptor, and it has impact and run, which is a really strong combo because you could just... Because due to like how Raptors are built, they're super low HP, high damage, really fast, so they could just... or Delta could just pounce and run, so it doesn't have to worry about dying on turn 2, which most Raptors do die on turn 2. The exception of, Delta, since it could run, and Blue, because it's actually fairly tanky, but Blue does have lower damage, but if it could survive 2 turns and get another pounce in, that's actually a decent amount of damage still. So, that aside, let's go for the Epics. Epics, I mean, Sinoceratops is a priority, I'd still say, but we did get like 2 or 3 Sinoceratops events already, just this patch and also the patch last time, the last patch. If we count that one, that's like, what, 3 Sino events? So maybe you guys already have enough Sinos, but I personally still need more, so I'm going to be going for Sino. Brachy is a really good standalone tank, obviously. Blue is a decent Raptor by itself. And, if you haven't unlocked Blue, since Blue doesn't spawn in the wild, then sure, go for enough attempts to unlock Blue. Blue is, it's okay. It's okay. I would say Brachy's a bit better than Blue, but unfortunately, they both don't have hybrids, and Sinoceratops does have 2 top-tier hybrids, so Sino seems like the better choice here, really. And if you do want to see which Sino hybrid to make, I will have my Sino hybrid comparison video down below, just in case you're confused, which one I should go for, because both are really good dinos. One is a bit better, but who knows, that could be nerfed soon, but, obviously the other one could be nerfed as well, so we really don't know. It's really hard to base any decision on that, but at the moment, we can look for one that is a bit better. So that's for next week. The theme is Christmas, obviously. December 24th to 30th. Oh, no. I just realized. Wait, does December have 31st? Really? Is there a 31st in December? I think so, right? Huh. Just checking the calendar. Is there? Oh, there is a 31st, so never mind then. I was thinking since... Well, actually, that still makes sense. Because the 30th is Sunday, and the 31st is Monday, so the 6th is Sunday, and Monday is the 7th. And you know what the 7th means? The 7th is a very important date, apparently, in Jurassic World Live. The tournament ends on the 7th. The Grypolith event ends on the 7th. And we're getting a new round of events on the 7th. Could be the Fallen Kingdom event. since that's the only one left in the data mine. Who knows? We might be closing in on an update. Maybe the week. What I'm seeing for the timeline is the event ends on the 7th. Tournament ends on the 7th. We're getting a new week on the 7th. And then we're just going to have this last week of really hype stuff. And then either that week we'll get patch notes or the week after. And we'll get a really boring week for featured event or Dino, since we just got 2 super hyped weeks. And by the way, Fallen Kingdom week also has Indoraptor, so that's really hype. If we get back-to-back weeks with the unique dinos, that's really, really hype. So we could be closing in on an update. So that's one other side note. But anyways, hopefully this helped you in deciding which dinos to go for. I mean, it should be quite straightforward, except for maybe the commons. Stego versus Apado, both are really good ingredients, but I'd say go for Stego instead of Apado. And yeah, that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Subscribe if you're new. And tell me what you're going to go for in this event. If any of you are going for like Old Delta or Old Bracky, I'd be interested to know if there are any of you out there. I know my friend Jeng, who doesn't use hybrids to play, he's probably going to go for either Blue or Bracky, but who knows. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.